Hello and welcome to this video. Today we are going to unbox the Sophie and Toffee calendar Elves box, and for this box the mold came outside of the box, so here we can see the mold with all the dates. So these are just little date blocks that you can push into like the slits of the calendar, and here's the calendar mold with the little slots and of course the dates of the week and the things that you can hang on the slots for like representing the month. So now that we have that out of the way, let's open the Elves box. And we are greeted with this lovely tissue paper from Sophie and Toffee, and I think it's so cute. And as always, the first thing in the box is this booklet, and this time it's very simple. And then we get these like themed little charms, and we have some glasses, spoons, mustaches and other things that you can use for decorating certain dates of your calendar. Maybe if you have like a party or something like that, you can use this for decoration. And then we get these colored dried flowers. And of course our resin that we need for this project, and this is the crystal epoxy resin in the 1:1 ratio. Then we get 3 mica pigments in orange, red, magic yellow and golden yellow. The next thing in this box are some glitters, so we have this finer silver goldish glitter and these star glitters in like pastel colors, so in a green, blue and purple. And we also get these hooks for the top of the calendar to hold our dates, and these tiny letters. And lastly we get this clear film with some holiday themed stuff at the bottom and 2 different fonts of the months for the calendar, so you can choose which one you want. And that was everything in this box, so now let's have a look inside this booklet. And on the first 2 pages we see everything that should have come inside this box, and then we have some detailed instructions, which I'm a huge fan of, because that means that you really know what you should do with this box and how you should assemble your calendar. And on the last page we have all of their social media and a challenge for this box. So let's get crafting. I mixed up a lot of the 1:1 resin according to the instructions, and I mixed in some of this pastel purple and a little bit of white into one of the cups I separated, and then I used a clear pour for the large mold, so for the calendar backing. And then I poured in the white into the little molds for the date. And I had to mix a little bit more resin because the resin numbers they said in their instructions were a little bit too little, so I had to mix like, I don't know, like 30 grams more to fill in all of the letters. And then I mixed some resin with these pigments and some of the silver glitter, and I'm just pouring it in one after the other into an extra separate cup, and then I'm doing practically a dirty pour inside these little divider thingies. For the days of the week, I'm using the same white that I used for the dates. And after I popped all of the bubbles, I spontaneously decided that the clear pour of the backing of the calendar looked too boring to me, so I actually inserted some of the dried flowers in the top resin, and I made sure to like cover them in resin and to coax out all of the little air bubbles that could have collected underneath the flowers. It was at this point that I noticed that I must have accidentally cut my mold while I was unboxing this, but it still worked and I had no leaks, and I only just realized while unmolding because there was a big gap. But I'm happy the mold still worked and I didn't get a giant mess. Now to put on these dividers or whatever you can call them, and of course the weekdays, I'm just using some jewelry glue because I know this holds resin very well. I didn't want to use UV resin in case something leaked and then the numbers wouldn't fit into the slots anymore. I didn't want to make all designs for the months. Instead, I wanted to make something different that would be way more customizable. So I made exactly one of these bars with UV resin. And then I made some spacers with this mold from another box, and I just used the thin edges to basically make some rectangular spacers that I could later cut up into little pieces and glue on the back of this plaque. So I'm basically just cutting them to size and then using my jewelry glue to place them, and I make sure to leave the top side completely open so I can slide in all of the dates that I want, and of course so that I can easily change them. And then I just position it onto my calendar and check where I want to have it, and then use the same glue to glue it down. And after inking everything with some golden paint, the calendar is finished. And as you can see, I can really easily slip out the dates, and I chose to actually put a white piece of paper behind them so I can see the dates more easily, but I can just as easily put in a colored slip of paper or use a different font or even print out my own pieces with my own fonts or write just on a slip of paper, whatever I want basically. And the top holes that were originally for the hooks I'm actually using for hanging this calendar up, because honestly I thought they were way too long and annoying, and I tried to put on the one of those pieces where you should have embedded the date in, and I hated it. It was very difficult to put on, and I immediately knew that not even every month would fit on these long hooks, so you would have to store them separately, and I absolutely didn't like that idea at all. I really love the idea of this box to have a calendar that you can basically use forever, And you can make custom like little symbols and stuff for like birthdays or Christmas and parties and such. And it was just so much fun pouring it with all the colors and such. And I think mine turned out really great, and for a matter of fact I actually already hung it up somewhere and I'm using it basically every day and looking at it for knowing which date it is and such, because it's just such a pretty piece and I just really love the customizability of it. I saw some beautiful pieces from other artists on Instagram already, and all of the ideas are just so pretty. And I really liked everything they included for decoration, like the dried flowers or the little embeds. I would have never known that those even existed, with like these little spoons and those mustaches and stuff. They were so much fun. And even the letters they included, so you can maybe spell out something or just use a letter to mark someone's birthday or something like that. The only thing that really bothers me was, first of all, that the molds were on top of the box, which I can understand because they were larger than the box, but they should have maybe marked the box so that you knew that you had to be careful while opening it, because as you have seen, I accidentally cut my molds, which, you know, they still work perfectly fine, but I still think it's a shame that even happened. The other thing that really bothered me was the choice of colors. I don't typically associate oranges and yellows with like calendars. I think, from what I've seen, most people would maybe prefer a white for the background, so you have more contrast, because white lets the flowers pop. You can see all the embeds very well with white, and you can ink it whatever color you want. So I would have maybe replaced one of the yellows with a white. But all in all, I was a huge fan of this project. I know it will not be everybody's cup of tea, but I think as an usable item, this was a great box and I had so much fun pouring it. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of my color choices, and let me know if you got this Sophie and Toffee box and what you chose to decorate your calendar with. And maybe even tag me on Instagram if you already made a calendar. I'd love to see your creations. Anyways, I hope you're having a great day. Bye!